Hello people, the final chapter is here. Chapter 5, the end. Don't want to think of that song. The four paladins and dwarf rode into the city, searching for the last refuge. Seph knew of the last place to defend in case of the heretics breaking down the walls. They rode up the hill where small barricades were armed and manned. They saw the top of the camp covered with Imperial cannons and camps. The white flame was still lit and uncorrupted. Seth searched for the Emperor. He found him laying down, dead, on the pedestal of the white flame. The high priest was chanted upon his burial site. The entire army was in disarray and scattered through the city. What happened? Seth questioned the high priest. The heretics took over the city and now are here to corrupt the flame, he recalled. The emperor died here of old age. No one could bear to see their cities, his people, slaughtered by such an army. What can we do? Nothing is over for the Imperial army of man. Not quite yet, Burger blurted. He pulled out a whistle and blew into it. Nothing was heard. No one would come to their aid now on the land of the heretics. It is over, Burger. But we will ride out with courage against these cultic defilers. The four paladins rode their horses into the masses of the enemy army that accumulated at the foothold of the hill. The Imperial horsemen rode out into the enemy with a shine of light that came from the four blades of Bala. The heretics were blinded by the holy light and storm of holy knights. Seth rode through the streets, calling upon the scattered Imperial regiments. With the entire Imperial army reunited, the heretics couldn't depend on the chaos between the ranks of man. Seth sensed something bad happening at the holy flame and rode back while the others pushed the enemy back to the gap. As Seth came up to the Imperial blockades, two heretic leaders stood upon the dead bodies of the once living soldiers. Seth drew his sword and dismounted it. The heretics drew their unholy blades and walked towards Seth. The bigger one charged with the other behind. Seth moved aside, and soon the big one died while he engaged the other. This one was a lot more talented than the other. He was no match for an Imperial paladin. Seth cut him down with little ease. He ran up the hill to see a man standing with the high priest. The high priest died in the grasp of this one man. Seth pointed his blade at the unholy spawn. The man just looked at Seth with pity. "Tell me, boy," the man said, "what makes you think that you are going to kill me with that pitiful blade of yours?" "You have defiled these sacred grounds and must be punished with death, heretic," Seth answered the man. "Death? You think you can kill me? Death is coming through your holy flame. It will consume this world and all you Imperials. You would dare defile the grave of the Emperor with this speech? You will never corrupt the flame as long as I am alive." "Enough talk, then." The man lifted up a demonic blade. The two clashed, and soon the ground around them was turned into fire and brimstone. The battle was intense, and all that was there to witness soon ran off to help their comrades in battle. The pedestal soon suffered severe damage from the blades clashing into it. "Can you hear them calling, Seth?" The man began to question. "Can you hear them crying your name?" The only thing I hear is the sound of battle, he answered. Join me, and you will be granted with all you ever wanted, Seph. Join you? I would rather die than to follow the title given to me by my holy emperor. He is dead. Not much can not much he can hear any more. Seph continued the battle. The trees around the holy flame were cut down by their blades' might. The paladin grew tired of this creature's talking. He soon kicked the opponent's blade into the side of a tree, and his sword cut through the man, sending him into the pedestal. It was fun, but it's my turn, he grinned. The man touched the flame with his demonic blade. The flame became black and twisted. The man used the power of the flame to fuel his own strength. Seph didn't care much for this, and threw his blade at the man. It went through the side of his arm. The newly formed creature didn't care of the blade and assaulted Seph. Seph retreated to the battlefield. The heretic army was pushed out of the city to the gap in the wall. Seph watched the demon as the demon ran through buildings with ease. Stubborn beast, isn't you? Isn't Aren't you? Seth commented. He ignored his comment and continued his assault on him. Seth kept running until a building collapsed on him. The creature looked down on that Seth, crushed by the building rubble. It turned towards the battle at the gap in the wall. It ran towards the Imperial force. Minutes passed, and soon Seth was found. He's under here, Salvanos shouted. On three, we pull the rubble off him. 1, 2, 3. The rubble began to slide off of Seth. Where's the demon? And Seth asked. Find the Imperial army, Salvanos answered. Seth lifted up a pole and ran towards the army. The demon was tearing down the might and will of the army. Seth threw the pipe, which is hole, at the back of the demon's head. It turned to him. I'm not dead yet, Seth shouted to it. It ran towards him. Seth ran up the hill to the now corrupted flame. It followed him to the top, where he was standing, holding the neophyte staff. It snarled at him and chumped. Seth rolled under it, and Salvanos pushed his blade into the demon's other arm. How did you like that, monster? Salvanos shouted. Seth threw a branch at the creature and ran to the trees. It followed him into the grove of trees. Seth whistled to it. It ran, and it turned and charged at him. Seth jumped out of the way as a hole opened up beneath its feet. It was small enough for one person to fit in it. Hyla pushed her blade into the demon's foot. I'm not done with you yet, you demon, Seth shouted. It kept running at him. This is the end of the line. Seth was standing in front of the pedestal. The creature ran at him and into the pedestal. It was dazed as it spun around. Liz pushed her sword into the creature's other leg as the others came and pushed theirs in further into the pedestal. I had enough of this heresy. I had enough of this. Sorry, Seth whispered to it. I had enough of this heresy. He put the neophyte staff above the flame. Holy light came down from the heavens into the sacred flame. The fire turned white as snow and brighter than ever before seen. The demon began to morph back into his original form, as did the flame. No! No! The man screamed. It is over, Seth said to him. The powers promised to me. Gone! No man makes a deal with the devil himself. I'll just corrupt the flame again. Yes, just turn it once again. You don't get it. You're powerless now, and you are also sentenced to a lifetime in Imperial prison. Seph turned to see the heretic army pushing back the Imperial army. The light rose from the horizon. Elven armies working beside the dwarves came out of their dominions to push the evil back from whence they came. Yes, Liz yelled as she jumped into Seph's arms. We still got work to do, Seph rebuked. A boat came from overseas, carrying other Imperial armies. More came with the son of the Emperor on board. He was the newly crowned Emperor, as commanded the new High Priest, as commanded by the new High Priest. The armies soon joined in more than just us an alliance. They had joined into a major empire with the newly founded Imperial Court. It was made up of representatives of each faction that had joined the new Imperial Kingdom. For years, peace had reigned upon the land of Anos. There we go. That's the end. The next book I'll be reading will be Alasia, Kingdom of Alasia. So, that will be, I'll say, the 14th. Yeah, the 14th. So, see you all later.